Amelia was usually a good girl, but today she was very upset. If her dad didn't listen to her, she was going to get really angry. Her face was red and she was about to cry. She didn't want to get ready for the day, so she didn't brush her teeth or put on her school clothes. She stood in the hallway and said she didn't want to go anywhere today. She just wanted to be left alone. Amelia Jones was an 8-year-old girl who lived in a small town in Maine. She was a curious and lively child, always smiling and full of wonder. Her parents, Marcus Jones and his wife, raised her to be kind, confident, and eager to learn. Amelia's family lived in a cozy house on the edge of town, surrounded by tall pine trees and the fresh air of Maine's wilderness. Marcus was often busy working long hours to support his family, so he relied on Brooke to take care of Amelia and her younger brother, Brendan, when he wasn't home. Brooke was a mysterious girl who often seemed lost in her own world of secrets, but Marcus trusted her to look after his children. One day, while Marcus was searching through the basement, he found a pile of old boxes. "Why are all these boxes in my basement, Amelia?" he asked, puzzled. Amelia, who had followed him downstairs, looked at the boxes with interest. "I don't know, Dad. I've never seen them before." Marcus opened one of the boxes and found it full of old newspapers and photos. As he looked through them, he found a picture of a woman who looked like Brooke. On the back of the photo was a date and a message that said, "I'll always remember our time together. Love, A." Marcus began to suspect that Brooke was hiding something about her past. He couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right about her. One night, Marcus decided to set up a camera in the living room to see what Brooke was up to when she was watching Amelia and Brendan. The next morning, when he checked the footage, he was horrified by what he saw. Brooke had been bringing strange men into the house while Marcus was away. Marcus couldn't believe what he was seeing. He never would have thought that his babysitter could be capable of such things. He immediately confronted Brooke, who denied everything and accused Marcus of not trusting her. Marcus knew he had to protect his family from Brooke's dangerous activities. He called the police and showed them the footage. They'd used the evidence to arrest Brooke and the men she had been secretly bringing into the house. Amelia was heartbroken when she found out her babysitter had been arrested and couldn't understand why Brooke would betray their family. Marcus and his wife sat down with their children and explained that Brooke wasn't who they thought she was, promising to always protect them. Amelia learned the importance of trusting her instincts and the dangers of trusting strangers. Marcus was relieved that he had followed his gut and uncovered the truth in time. Amelia's curiosity had played a key role in revealing Brooke's secret life, and through this experience, her bond with Marcus grew stronger. He was proud of her for always asking questions, and their father-daughter relationship became even more special as they faced this challenge together. After Brooke's arrest, Marcus did some digging and discovered that she had been involved in a dangerous cult before she moved in with them. Her past explained her strange behavior and her need to seek out dangerous activities. With Brooke behind bars and their family safe, Marcus and his wife were able to breathe a sigh of relief. They were grateful for their daughter's inquisitive nature, which ultimately led to the end of a dangerous nightmare. After the chaos and turmoil of the past few weeks, Marcus and his family were ready for a fresh start. They moved to a new town, where Marcus found a job that allowed him to spend more time with his children. Amelia and Brendan's smiles returned, and they were happy to leave their old house and its dark secrets behind. Marcus's experience taught him that no matter how well you think you know someone, there will always be secrets and dangers lurking beneath the surface. He made a promise to himself to always stay vigilant and protect his family from any harm that may come their way. Through it all, Amelia's love for her family never wavered. She showed incredible strength and resilience in the face of danger, and her unwavering love for her family helped them all get through the ordeal. Marcus and his family eventually moved on and found happiness in their new home. They focused on the present, holding each other close and cherishing every moment together. Marcus's experience served as a reminder to parents about the power of children's curiosity. It can lead to important discoveries, but also uncover dangerous secrets. He hoped his story would inspire others to stay vigilant and trust their instincts. As they settled into their new life, they received a letter from Brooke, still in prison, apologizing and asking for forgiveness. Reading the letter brought a mix of emotions, but they knew they were ready to face whatever the future held together. Danielle stared intently at the TV, her hand nervously wringing her apron. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. A masked, dark figure flashed across the screen, breaking into houses and robbing them of their valuables. The news anchor's voiceover described the robber as being swift and elusive, leaving no trace behind. Amelia couldn't sleep that night, her thoughts consumed by the robber. She lived in fear that the mysterious figure would make its way into their home. She held her breath every time she heard a noise, convinced that the robber was lurking just outside her window. Marcus and Danielle sat at their kitchen table, their once happy home now filled with tension and worry. A robber had hit several houses in their neighborhood, and they feared for their family's safety. Brendan, their son, was oddly fascinated by the robber, treating the situation like a scene from a movie, much to his parents' concern. One afternoon, Danielle was interrupted from making dinner by a knock on the door. It was their neighbor, Annabelle, offering tips on how to protect their home from the robberies. Meanwhile, Brooke, their former babysitter who had recently been released from incarceration, grew suspicious of the Jones family and their new surveillance camera. Curious, Brooke contacted her hacker friend, Ruth, and together they hacked into the Joneses' surveillance system. To her shock, she discovered that Annabelle, their friendly neighbor, was actually the robber. Brooke couldn't believe what she had found out, as she had never suspected Annabelle, who always seemed so kind. That night, Brooke took a risk and sneaked into the Jones house to tell Marcus and Danielle the truth. She showed them the surveillance footage as proof. The couple was stunned by the betrayal, but also grateful to Brooke for revealing the truth. Marcus called the police immediately, and they arrived in record time. They arrested Annabelle and found all the stolen valuables in her house. It turned out that she was in debt and resorted to robbing her neighbors to pay off her loans. With the robber caught, their neighborhood was safe once again, and the Jones household returned to its happy and peaceful state. Brooke was hailed as a hero, and even Brendan stopped obsessing over the mysterious robber, much to his parents' relief. Amelia had once thought Brooke was just a troublemaker, but after what Brooke did to protect their family, she saw her in a new light. Amelia wished she could thank her. A few days later, the Jones family visited Brooke to thank her in person and offered her a job as their babysitter. Touched by their gesture, Brooke accepted. As time passed, Brooke and Amelia grew closer, spending afternoons together baking and reading. Amelia no longer saw Brooke as a former criminal, but as a caring friend who had protected her family. However, things took a dark turn when Marcus received a call from the police. Annabelle had escaped from prison and was seeking revenge. Brooke received a package with a newspaper clipping of her and the Jones family, along with a note saying, "I know where you live." She immediately informed Marcus. Determined to keep his family safe, Marcus installed security cameras and kept his family close. Despite the fear, Marcus and Danielle realized they had misjudged Brooke. They now saw her as the brave and kind-hearted person who had protected them.